Good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Stamp and Create with Beth. I'm Beth Roy, a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Sorry. Oh, got all tongue-tied there already this morning. So, I'm just going to get my video going, make sure my notification went out. And if you join me, say good morning. Let me know where you're watching from if you're new to hanging out with us. Good morning, Maggie. So today, I'm just going to give it a few minutes for some people to join us. But today, I am going to make a quick card. And I was just trying to see, I'm using this Adventurous Sky, and I wanted to look really quick. It looks like the stamp set's sold out, but we still have the dies. So hopefully this is something you have in your stash, or you can use this card design to, tailor it to whatever you have. Sorry, I'm a little crooked here. So good morning. It is rainy here. My internet was not working literally 2 minutes ago. So hopefully everything kind of holds out. Good morning, Linda. It has been storming here for days. So you're getting rain too. It has just been storming for days. So we've had nonstop crazy weather, and, living out in the country, we don't always have great internet. So just letting you know, if I cut out, that's what happened. Good morning, Vicki. So today, this style of card actually was sent to me by Vicki, and I'm going to make this as a graduation card. Now, we can stamp the card I make as something a little bit different. Maybe you don't need that many graduation cards, but I want to tell you where this greeting came from. So I used the Adventurous Sky, and I used the big plane here, and then the coordinating dies. Again, this stamp set looks like it's sold out. Let me check really quick. I think it's just gone if it's not listed at all. Some things are being restocked, but it doesn't look like it's this one. Just checking really quickly. Nope. No. So, if you have it, great. If you don't, you can just use something else. But so it has this cute little flap that folds down. And then I created a pocket so that you can tuck a gift card in here. You could make a little note card that slides out. Oops, I got stuck on my glue. So you could tuck some cash in here. So I made a little pocket on mine. Hey, Deb. Oh, thanks, Vicki. Thanks for taking care of that for me. Yeah, sometimes it works with us, and sometimes it works against me. So, when Vicki and I were talking about this card, I was saying I had a bunch of these pre-stamped, just kind of laying around. Sometimes I make a bunch of things and then I don't use them on cards, or I don't finish them. So she was saying something about soaring, and I said, oh, I have this one. This is an old set. You may have it in your stash, and it has Soar Confidently in Your Own Sky. And so it went perfect with my airplane. Of course, this has a really cool airplane too. But this is what we're going to use today. So when we make our card, we can switch it to Happy Birthday or whatever. I happen to have this set. Look, I'm not doing very good here keeping my stamps on the front of my case, but I've been using them a lot, so I haven't put them away. But we could do a happy birthday if we wanted, and I do need a few birthday cards, so we may do that. Good morning, Anne. Thanks for joining us. So I'm going to tell you what I have, and we're going to get started, and I'm going to make this pretty quick. So I'm just going to tell you the pieces I have. I have a basic white piece of cardstock, and I've just used the regular basic white. You could use the thick. And it is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to do a little more scoring on it. I have a piece of the Take to the Sky Designer Series paper, and it is 5 1/4 inches by 4. That's going to go on our front here. And then I have this piece, so I had to cut this little strip off of a piece. So I'm going to turn it and use this corner. We're going to cut this direction on it so that it fits right here. And then I have my little piece for my pocket, which was a scrap piece, and I cut it to 4 inches, and I think it's by 2. So you could use whatever scrap pieces you have. Good morning, Christy. I have this airplane that I'd already stamped and colored, and I just needed to die cut it. And then I have a stylish shape circle. I used white, but I was thinking I might stamp on this. And this has kind of a boho a blue cloud. So I was thinking I might stamp some clouds. Now, Boho Blue is retiring. This next week on Tuesday, our new catalog launches. So I know some of these were available. They may have sold out, but that's the only color I'm pulling in. And then I have basic gray for my greeting. And then this is, if you've been crafting with me, you know that I number my dies. Number 1 is the largest. So this, I believe, is a number 3. Just in case you're copying me. You, of course, can change yours up however you like. So, are you guys ready to get started? This is a super simple card. You know I don't love diagonals, but this wasn't too bad. It is a super simple card that kind of looks like your Designer Series papers folding over. And then it's kind of letting that greeting peek through. So I love this. So the only choice we're going to make today is what greeting. Okay, so do we want to do happy birthday? And this would fit right here. Or we could even do birthday wishes. So that's going to be our choice. So if you're copying it, maybe you need a stack of graduation cards. Then you can make a whole bunch of those. But I already have some that I have made. So I need a birthday card. So let's get to our base here. I'm not going to bring in my trimmer just yet. I'm going to bring in my crafting T-square here. And so on the front, we're going to want to score this so we can fold it down. So I'm going to measure 2 inches. I think it's flush. There we go. 2 inches from the top. I'm having a hard time with this here. There's a little hole right here. And my paper keeps going down into it. Okay, so I'm just going to make a little tick mark there. Okay, it's going to fold down, so don't worry about it. Now, what I did is I took my paper, right? Normally we would put this on here. And I'm also going to measure 2 inches down on this one. On the right side. So I'm just going to come over here. And sometimes if you have, busy paper, you need to just kind of, mark it where you can see it. So I'm putting a little mark there. Yeah, I love the Boho Blue as well. I am going to miss it. I did buy the refill and I have the ink pad, so I can always still use it, and I have plenty of the paper. Okay. So on this one, instead of doing it on the right-hand side, I'm going to measure over here on the left. Okay. And I'm measuring it at 2. Now, this is really hard to see, so I'm just going to guess, and I'll fix it. I'll adjust it however I need to. Oops. Sorry, trying to hang some stuff up and keep it out of my way. Okay, so now we bring in our trimmer. And the first thing I'm going to do is score my base. So I'm scoring from the corner to down here on my tick mark. And let me tell you about something I did earlier. I didn't have this folded before I did my scoring. And I realized that I didn't fold it evenly. And then my line didn't go all the way to my corner, but I'm okay with it. I don't think you can really notice. But so I'm scoring that really well so that I can see that line, and I know my card's not off at all. So I'm going to put this in the track. Let me scoot it up so you guys can see. And then here's my little tick mark. Okay, so you're just lining those up. And remember to use your scoring blade. You're scoring it. You want it to fold. Okay, that wasn't exact. Let's try it again. Somehow I moved my paper. Okay, good enough. So you want to fold it in and then fold it back out just to help it crease. Oops, I about had a coffee accident here. So there's the front of our card. Okay, everybody with me? Now we're going to, remember my tick mark is right here. And then I'm going to line that corner up. And you might have to wiggle it around a little bit till it gets kind of where you want. And honestly, you guys know how I am with diagonals. I don't care if it's exact because we have a flap. And so if you have a little boo-boo, it's okay because it's going to be covered up. Now you noticed I put my arm down and I started my blade in the middle. This little corner is going to get torn up if you try to pull your blade down on top of it. So I started in the middle and then cut it. You can save that little piece for whatever. Okay, so this is going to go right here. And this is what I'm talking about. You know, I don't always get this angle exactly correct, but it's okay because this flap's going to go down over it. So no worries, right? Now, this one, I want to cut from the opposite corner so I have the right angle to go on my flap. And then, oh, that's a neat piece. You could put that right on a card like this. Right? That's pretty cool. So if you do what I did and you use either end, I originally cut that to 5 1/4 by 4, and then I just trimmed off each end. So that was pretty happy accident, right? Now this goes here. And you'll notice I didn't cut my angle exact, and there's hardly any white space, right? So I could take my ruler and just kind of draw this, okay, how I want it to go. I didn't get my angle exact. Now, when I measured, I don't even know where my other ruler is. Get this back out. When I originally measured this, it should equal 2. And I noticed I got mine a little off, I think. So that's okay. Just trim it, right? Okay, we're not here to fuss about it. So however you want this, okay? So I'm just going to pull it up a little bit like this. You know, this is my old trick for diagonals. I'm just not good with it, and that's okay. Don't let it stop you from doing a card like this. So I'm going to cut my diagonal again, or maybe I'll just cut this straight piece. But I'm going to try and remember how I did it. I think I took 1/8 of an inch off of here because this is flat. But if you want, you can do this, okay? Flip it over, draw a line, and then cut it again, following that line in your trimmer. So that's normally how I do my diagonals. I lay it where I want it, and then I flip it over, and I cut it, or I trace it with a pencil. But I'm just going to take this side here, and we're going to cut 1/8 of an inch off. Oh, maybe not. This is what I did earlier, and I lost my point. I don't know that I necessarily want to do that. Okay. You're seeing me struggle, and it's pretty normal. Why can't I hold it straight? Okay, we're just going to go with it. So I'm going to take my pencil. Yeah, you could glue it and fussy cut it. I kind of want a little bit of a white edge. So we'll see. See if I can see it. So I do see my pencil line here, and I'm just kind of lining it up. Again, it might not come out perfect. That's okay. We'll trim a sliver off, and we'll test it out. Sorry, I was putting my tape back in my little hiding spot here. Oops. Oh. I don't like how that cut. I'm going to trim just a little bit more off. Grab my piece of tape again. Now, when you cut your piece of paper, sometimes you get this little lip from the blade. I take my bone folder and just smooth it out. Oops. There we go. If it's easier to trim the straight side, do that. It makes total sense. Now I'm just going to glue that down. I'm not worried about it if it's not perfect. Let's see. Good morning, Joan. I'm going to get my... I don't know why, but I have some little strays here. And I want a little bit more off, so I'm just going to, I'm going to go ahead and trim it from there we go. So just a little finagling, and look, I got it. So don't worry, if you can't do diagonals, just make it work for you, whatever makes sense for you. Joan, I hope you are well. We are dealing with a bunch of rain here, so. And now we just assemble. So this goes here. And I'm making sure that this side is even, this side, and this side that peeks out. That's why I said if this isn't exactly perfect, it's okay. No one's going to see it. This is going to come down like this. And I'm going to glue this here. And I want this corner to make sure that it is adhered down. I got it a little sticky here. Just be careful if you're using an adhesive remover because you don't want to rip your paper. Oops, and it moved a little bit. Oh well, no worries, right? It'll be okay. So it slid a little bit on me. But we're going to put a circle here, so again, I'm not going to worry about it. I care more about if this glue is sticky where on the outside of the card. So there's the outside. Now we are going to use dimensionals on this part to pop it up like a flap. And then we're going to add our circle and with our airplane on it. And I think I'm going to stamp some clouds. And for the pocket, close my glue really quick. Oh, thank you, Vicki. Thanks for sharing this card with me because I don't know that I've ever done a card like this. Just a folded flap. I'm going to say folded flap front. What should we call this card? So I am using tear and tape on my pocket. I don't want it to go anywhere. Now, I'm not worried about if it's perfectly on because it'll hold something with just a little bit of tape. But I do want it to kind of stay put if you have something that's going in and out of the pocket. Aw, thank you, Joan. It's just time to have painted nails. Corner fold card. Good job, Vicki. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think I've ever done a card, maybe, where I folded the corner like this. I just don't recall. So this is going to go on the inside like this. And you notice I put tape on 3 sides. Make sure that the open side is facing up so that you can tuck your thing in. We're going to put that on in a minute. But we're going to do some stamping. So I want this to be a nice crisp fold here. We're going to stamp our greeting here, and I am going to use my stamp positioner, and we'll stamp some clouds on here. Just trying to see if I had a scrap piece somewhere so I don't have to mess up my brand new grid sheet. Okay, so we've got these pieces. So you guys get ready to vote because you're going to help me finish off our corner fold card. Do we want, happy birthday. And it would go right here like this. Now this happy birthday is a longer one, so you might want one that stacks. And this set, this is Simply Said. It has a birthday wishes that would fit right here. And I think I'm going to stamp a couple of stamped off clouds just to kind of fill that in. So we have number 1 is the long happy birthday, and number 2 is the stacked birthday wishes. So if you guys want to vote really quick, I'm going to get out some of my clouds here and stamp. So I think I'm just going to use this big long cloud, and I'm going to stamp off. I don't want it to be really dark. Boho Blue is very dark, so if you don't have Boho Blue, use Balmy Blue. But I just want it to be really light, like that. So I stamped off twice, and I just stamped it one way and then the other, and then our little plane's going to go right there. So it just adds a little bit. The other thing you could do is you could take a blend and color it, or you could die cut your circle out of the colored cardstock like the Smoky Slate or the Boho Blue instead of white. So this is going to go here like this. I just didn't want that circle to be too distracting. And then I'm going to stamp some of these clouds on the inside of the card here. And again, I'm going to do the stamped off method so that when we stamp our greeting in basic gray, it will go over top of it. So there's some clouds. Ooh, yeah, good tip there, Joan. You're right. I forgot to do that. We can do that. Let me see if I have a small circle punch. I'll show you what Joan's talking about. So, I didn't do it on this pocket, but if you have a small circle punch, okay, you punch a little notch there. Let me grab mine. I have this little tiny, 1/2 inch. I think it's retired. I don't know. I don't buy a lot of punches, but you just go about halfway and you punch it out like that. It helps get the card out a little bit. There you go. And so if you have a bigger punch, I might have had a bigger one. I don't know. I just grabbed one really quick. So that can go there. Let me, well, get that out of the way. So I'm going to just put a little dab of glue. I think our stacked greeting won out. So I'm just putting a little dab of glue to hold this. And I'm kind of looking at how I want it. It doesn't have to be equal or even. Our circle is going to go here like this. And remember, we're going to have some dimensionals. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pocket on. And I'm going to put my airplane on. Before we stamp our greeting. So I'm just lining this up at the bottom here, making sure it's even. Now, one thing I do is I take my bone folder and I go around the edge, and then I take it on the inside and kind of stretch that paper a little bit. so that my money or my gift card will fit down in there. And I like to put them like this, so you don't have to make it as wide, or if you're sticking some folded money in there, either way. So we're going to, let me grab my dimensionals here. We're going to pop up our flap. So it just gives it a little bit of dimension. And then I'm going to put this on the front like this. And I'm going to put dimensionals along this bottom to help kind of stabilize that. But this will have liquid glue. And if you need more glue on this area, you can add a little bit more. You can tuck a glue dot. I'm just going to do a little dab of glue. I need to remember where, okay. So down here. And then we're going to put a little dab of glue at the top where it's connecting with the other part that's already raised up. I just want to make sure this doesn't go past my card here. I think I did okay. All right, it looks like, oh, Joan, that's a great idea. So Joan said she made one for Mother's Day before and put a seed packet in it. That's awesome. Okay, somebody remind me later that I need to put all my stamps away. Like a good little girl. Okay, so I already had that Soar Confidently in there. So I'm just going to flip this over. So whatever stamp positioner you have, that's what you want to use. And I'm just kind of lining it up here. And I'm using my magnet. Actually, I don't need this because this is clear and I can see. That one this one was a red rubber. So I wanted to check that I had it straight and that it stamped well, but I'm still going to use this, and I just realized I forgot something. Ooh, a tea bag. Hold on just a second. I just realized that I'm not set up for photopolymer stamps. So let me put my mat in there. You know, sometimes this happens. So you don't need to use your stamp positioner 100%, but I feel more comfortable because my card's done. So the last thing I want to do is mess up my card. I'm going to put some magnets on there so that it will stay put. Now for the greeting, I'm just using basic gray. And honestly, if you didn't have a blue, you could have used Smoky Slate or even basic gray stamped off 3 or 4 times, okay? That's how you kind of extend your inks, is using the Stampin' Off method. So birthday wishes. Isn't this cute? Oh, and this is why I use a stamp positioner. Because I already have this done, and I could have opened this, but I wanted to see where it was going to fall. So that's why I left it that way. But you could have set this down and then opened it, and it would have stamped a little easier. That dimension can kind of mess it up. But if you're like me, sometimes you get impatient. So there we go. Isn't that cute? Birthday wishes. We have a little pocket here. for a gift card, or you can make a graduation card, or as Joan and other people have pointed out, Mother's Day or any occasion really. So I hope you have enjoyed this quick card. And I want to tell you really quickly before we go, I have a new class that dropped today. So if you want to jump in, this is what comes with the class. I will be posting it as soon as we're done onto the page. You're going to get half a pack of this new beautiful gallery paper. So let me just fan it out. So you get half a pack of this. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful paper. Okay. You get a whole roll of the Very Vanilla ribbon, and you get a whole package of the pressed flowers motifs. And here is one of the cards. So there's 8 cards. I'm going to show you the card kits. You will be cutting the designer series paper yourself because you may want to customize it. So here is one of the cards. You will get all the cardstock pieces. So let me show you. It will come in an envelope like this, with all the pieces scored and all the cardstock cut, ready for you to stamp. You will just cut the designer series paper that you want according to my directions. The directions will tell you what size to cut your paper to, and this is one of the cards. We have a fun fold, which is an easel. So that's a little sneak peek if you want to grab that class. It is a product class, so it's only available to residents of the U.S. for me. And you can reserve your share today. You have until May 12th to grab that class. So all of the beautiful gallery products, the suite, will be available Tuesday, May 6th. And it features 2 of the new in colors that I just showed you, Secret Sea and Cloud Cover. Linda, for this, you do not. You can pair any greetings you want with it. I have used, however, just so you know, if you ever have questions, I let you know what I use when I do the cards. But this stamp set is part of the suite, the beautiful motifs, and it has another stamp set that is with it. Let me tell you the name really quick. Gallery Blooms. So I will use some of these images, and this has a really neat frame die that I will be using on some of the card kits. So all the cardstock comes pre-cut. You will get half a pack of the designer series paper and cut the sheets that you want to use for your cards. Sorry, I just realized I've been kind of crooked the whole thing. So thank you, Maggie and Deb and Vicky and Linda. So thank you all for your wonderful compliments. I appreciate that. So if you have questions about the card class, I have my son in visiting, so I am going to be kind of in and out and pretty much unavailable for most of the weekend. I will be checking in on Sunday quickly for my messages. So if you send me a message, I will check in. And you can always sub in any stamp set that you want for a class. So if you don't want to buy the new stamp sets, if I've stamped a flower, you just substitute in whatever flower you want or whatever greetings you want. And I will be showing some more of the cards here this week. So thank you all for joining me. I hope you'll give this card a try. Everyone have a beautiful weekend. It's very rainy here, but everyone have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you soon. Thank you, Linda, and thank you, Vicky. Oh, by the way, next week, on Wednesday, I will be live chatting about the new catalog and the new online exclusives. Yes, Joan, my son from Washington that lives in Washington. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Maggie. So yes, he's just here for a quick weekend visit, and so I I'm going to hang out with them as soon as they wake up. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.